You know, in racing, the boss doesn't usually stand up and tell the whole world that one driver is the reason his whole team is still standing. But that's exactly what Dale Earnhardt Jr. just did, and the words he used about Justin Allgaier are going to stick with people for a long time. It all happened at Pocono Raceway this past Saturday. Pocono is that famous track shaped like a triangle, and it's special because the people who win big there get honored with rocks. Yes, real rocks. It's a cool little tradition, and on this weekend, Justin Allgaier added his name to the list of greats by parking his number 7 Chevy in Victory Lane and grabbing yet another trophy for JR Motorsports. Now, this wasn't just any win. This was a big, fat, important win. Allgaier didn't just take the checkered flag. He also locked himself into the 2026 NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series playoffs. On top of that, he now leads the point standings by a huge 250 points over second-place Jesse Love. 250 points. That's not a lead. That's a country mile. And the numbers keep stacking up. This was Allgaier's 5th win of the 2026 season. It was the 33rd win of his whole career. And get this, it was his 30th win driving for JR Motorsports. 30 wins for one team. That's loyalty, that's skill, and that's a partnership that just keeps paying off. So when Dale Jr. walked up to talk to the media Saturday evening, you could tell he had a lot on his mind. And what he said about his driver was the kind of stuff a guy says when he really means it. Dale Jr. started simple. Justin is just dependable, he said. He's going to run good every week. Some days he'll be our best car, but he'll always be a solid race car. That sounds like a normal compliment, right? But then Dale Jr. went a step further. He gave Allgaier the kind of title that doesn't get handed out very often. He's been the cornerstone of the company, Dale Jr. said, and his success and consistency has helped stabilize us throughout some tough times. Stop and think about that for a second. Dale Jr. is saying that Justin Allgaier is the reason JR Motorsports made it through the rough patches. He's saying this guy held the whole team together. That's a massive thing to say out loud. And he even admitted that maybe, just maybe, the team didn't realize how good they had it. I'm wondering if we just didn't really know how good he was, Dale Jr. said. Now let's talk about Justin Allgaier for a minute, because his story is pretty amazing. The guy is 40 years old. He's from a small town called Riverton, Illinois. He spent years and years chasing a championship in the Xfinity Series, and people started to wonder if he'd ever get one. Then, in 2024, he finally did it. He grabbed that title that had been just out of reach for so long. But here's the wild part. Instead of slowing down after winning the big trophy, he's gotten even better. He's racing in 2026 like a guy who's just getting started. 40 years old, leading the standings by 250 points and winning races left and right. As Dale Jr. likes to say, Allgaier has aged like fine wine. Of course, when a driver hits 40 and has already won a championship, fans start whispering one word: retirement. And about 2 weeks before Pocono, Allgaier actually brought it up himself. He talked about maybe being done, but then he turned around and said it's actually more likely than not that he'll be back racing in 2027. So, which is it? Honestly, even Dale Jr. doesn't fully know. I don't know what Justin wants to do in terms of retirement or racing more, Dale Jr. said. But then he made an interesting point about NASCAR's new points system. He thinks the new setup might actually make drivers want to stick around longer. I think this new points system would encourage a driver to add years to their career, Dale Jr. explained. It's a system where, right or wrong, you might feel like you have a little more control over your destiny as a driver, so that would maybe lengthen some careers, which I think is nice. Then Dale Jr. got a little more personal. You could hear how much he wants Allgaier to keep going. He's having such a good year this year, so I'm hoping that he's excited about maybe sticking around for a little while, Dale Jr. said. But he also showed total respect for whatever choice Allgaier makes. But he's earned whatever decision he makes, he added. That right there is the message. Stay if you want, go if you want, but know that you are the reason this team is what it is. And then came the sweetest part of the whole weekend. Allgaier's big win didn't just give the team another trophy, it also gave Dale Jr. a moment with his daughter that he's never going to forget. Dale Jr. has 2 little girls, Nicole and Ela, and after the race, his daughter Nicole hopped right into Allgaier's number 7 Chevy with her dad and rode to Victory Lane. Yep, Right there in the winning car. Dale Jr. told the story like a proud dad. Nicole goes out there. She's like, "Yeah, I'll ride in the car," he said with a laugh. "So I got in there and she sat on my lap and she rode and held the checkered flag. She loved it. Core memory. All possible because of Justin." And here's something even cooler. This was the second year in a row that Nicole and her sister Isla got to be part of a Pocono victory for their dad's team. So now it's almost becoming a tradition. The Earnhardt girls show up at Pocono, and somehow the number 7 car finds its way to victory lane. Justin Allgaier is basically writing himself into the Earnhardt family memories, one win at a time. Now, while all this serious, heartfelt stuff was happening on Saturday, Dale Jr. flipped the script a little on Sunday and showed off his goofy side. The guy is one of the busiest people in NASCAR. He owns JR Motorsports. He works as a NASCAR announcer. He hosts his podcast, the Dale Jr. Download, and he's got all kinds of other projects on top of that. So what does he do? He hopped on social media and joked, kind of, that maybe he should drop all of it for a brand new hobby. His new obsession? Trading sports cards online. He posted on X, "I'm considering quitting all other jobs, responsibilities, and requirements to just sell stuff on Whatnot and eBay. This isn't likely, but I'm still going to consider it for a while." Fans had a blast with this. One fan wrote that Dale Jr. had pulled him back into card collecting just by talking about it on his podcast. Dale Jr. fired right back, "I'm not sure we are cut out for this, Lance. I've found it difficult to remain disciplined." Another fan said, "My sister has been telling me to get on Whatnot and then you talked about it on the podcast, so now I gotta download it." Someone else warned him, "It's all fun and games until you get low ball offers in your DMs." And one fan joked the obvious truth, "Easy for you. You could post a sock and fetch $300. Nobody wants my junk." It's that perfect mix of the man Dale Jr. is. One day, he's giving the most heartfelt speech you can imagine about his veteran driver. The next day, he's joking around with fans about selling random stuff online. That's why people love him. But the real story, the one that's going to stick around, is what he said about Justin Allgaier. Calling someone the cornerstone of your whole company isn't normal NASCAR talk. That's the kind of thing a team owner says when he knows, deep down, that he hit the jackpot the day he hired that driver. And after 30 wins together, 1 championship, and now a season where Allgaier is dominating the field, it's hard to argue with him. Justin Allgaier may or may not race past 2027. But no matter what he decides, Dale Earnhardt Jr. just made sure the whole NASCAR world knows exactly how much he means to the team. And honestly, that's what makes this whole thing so special. NASCAR fans have watched Justin Allgaier grind it out for years. He never quit, never complained, and never demanded the spotlight.